in sixth form, I was known as the guy that would just come in with like a little box of his own little food that he would eat, and it became a running joke actually, but not a joke in the bad way. It was just like, oh, here he is with his fucking chicken and rice again or whatever, and I did this religiously, especially in the last year of my sixth form, because I didn't want to let the processed foods of the school canteen to ruin my fitness journey. It was that simple. I took my diet too seriously to do that. I just made my food at home and brought it in. It's that simple. And people that haven't done this before will look at me and be like, "Oh, well, I can't do that. I can't do that." I thought that as well. Bear in mind, I thought that I couldn't do that as well. So no, I won't be able to. It'll go all over my bag, and I won't have time to eat it, and where can I heat it up? Turns out we had a microwave. Turns out it never fell out in my bag once because I just sellotaped the top of it if the lid was a bit shit. And turns out I made the best physique of my life because I actually cared about my body and took foods in that were actually healthy rather than suffering from the bullshit school canteen food that they feed you. Honestly, I could go on and rant about this for ages. It's fucking prison food. I can't believe they're allowed to sell these things in schools. It's disgusting. They don't sell a single healthy thing on that whole menu in any school that I've been in ever, and I don't understand how it's allowed. They're poisoning children. That's what it is. All these processed foods, just because it's cheaper to buy in at mass, you're gonna poison all these kids because it's cheaper to buy, so you can make more profit as a school. To do what? To pay taxes to a bullshit prime minister. Do you know what I mean? You're poisoning children, man, with this unhealthy food. And the more people that I can convince to remove processed foods from their diet and take in healthy food that you've made from home, the better. The less poisoned children that I can actually create, the better. Because this shit is disgusting, and I don't understand how the schools have got away with this. You eat it, you feel bloated, you feel like shit. Have you ever tried to eat food and then go out and play fucking school football at lunch? Have you ever tried to do that? It's horrible. It sits there like a rock in your stomach, and you can feel your performance in fucking football being 10 times worse than normal. You know? It sits in your belly like a rock. You don't feel good after eating it, and that's a clear indicator that it's not a healthy food that you should be eating. So I want you to escape this reality of shit food from school and know that you can. There is a way out, and that it doesn't have to ruin your physique. And before we move on to them certain methods, I want to teach you a lesson on. Oh, it fits my macros. I've talked about this before, and a lot of people that I know that like went to the gym with me in college and sixth form, etc. That would be their excuse to eating canteen food. But like, oh, it fits my macros. I don't really want to go anywhere to eat anything else. Like, oh, it's fine. It fits my macros. There's a bit of protein in that, etc., etc. That's not the case. That's not the truth. The truth is you're too lazy to go out and make your own food. The truth is you're too lazy and too fucking undisciplined to think, oh, the canteen's only 5 steps away, but it's got really bad food in it, so I won't eat it. You're too undisciplined to think like that. You're just like, oh, it's quick and easy, I'll just go and get it and eat it. But you're hiding behind this wall and this lie of, oh, it fits a macro, so it'll be okay. When you know deep down that's not true. 300 calories of that bullshit will put on more weight than 300 calories of a healthy meal that you make from home. It is that simple. It is that plain and simple. And I can't believe people don't understand this. So don't fall for that. Oh, it fits my macros, so it's this amount of calories, so it's okay. That's not true. Calories isn't the only thing that you should be caring about. You should be eating whole foods. And this is the structure to how you should make your meals. You should have whole foods only. Make a list of 20, 30 whole foods that can compromise your diet. So, 5 that are meats, 5 vegetables, 5 fruits, and then a couple of accessories like eggs, honey, etc., water, whey protein, unflavored. These things, make a list out of these type of things. Chicken, excuse me, steak, rice, sweet potato, all these different foods that are really, really good for you. Make a list out of those and then make example meals out of that list. So now you've got 5, 6 meals that you know that you can make from home, that are whole foods and that are accessible to you. And then just make them while you're having breakfast. This is an extremely good tactic that I used. When I make breakfast, I'll be cooking eggs anyway, so I was already in the flow of making food and preparing things. So I just make my dinner as well. I chuck chicken that I seasoned in the air fryer while I was making my eggs. I put rice in the steamer while I was making the eggs. I cut up a cucumber while I flipped my fried egg, or while I was mashing around the scrambled eggs. I like eggs, by the way, if you couldn't tell. And I made my dinner, meal prep my food, my dinner, at the same time I made breakfast because I was already in the flow of cooking. You see how sometimes you're like, oh, I can't be asked to meal prep today. And one time you forget to do it at breakfast and you're like, shit, I really cannot be asked doing it before I have to go into sixth form. Excuse me, bro. Oh. I really can't be asked. But when you're in the flow of cooking already, when you're already making breakfast, you don't get that feeling because you're doing it anyway. And it's a nice little habit stack that you can use to be able to make sure that you meal prep every single day. Habit stacking is an extremely, extremely important tool, by the way. It was something that I read in Atomic Habits by James Clear, this book. And it was saying how you're more likely to do a new habit when you stack it on an old habit. So, for example, you're more likely to... What's an example? You're more likely to stretch if you stretch. Oh, sorry, you're more likely to skip if you do it after you stretch. So you see how them two things come in together. They're both physical activity, they're both moving around, etc. When you stretch, you're more likely to do a minute or two of skipping afterwards, rather than you just trying to go outside and skip randomly, because you're already in the flow of movement, you're already in the flow of being active, doing things, baby being outside, you're already in the flow of doing things, so all of a sudden it's a lot easier. So then pick up a skipping rope and start skipping. Things like that. And that's the same with meal prepping. You're more likely to meal prep your dinner for college, for sixth form, when you're making your breakfast. You're already in the flow of making foods. Don't let your parents sway you from making these foods as well. So this is a big thing that I like to talk about, because a lot of parents, they're just retards, to put it, genuinely just fucking plain and stupid. Now, I'm lucky enough to have parents that are quite understanding, quite reasonable to deal with. So when they come up to me and be like, you should be eating all these foods, all I have to do is turn around and extend my point of like, oh, these things are actually quite healthy now. Like, if you read this thing here, it said that it's actually, eggs are actually healthy for you. Like, it's on the I don't know what it's called. It's an organisation that decides whether foods are healthy or not. It's on that website. Like, eggs are proven healthy now, so I can eat as many as possible. And my parents will understand that. Actually, the one thing that definitely turned the needle for me, broke their limiting beliefs of diet, was that I actually got them to lose weight myself. So that was a big thing for me. So my dad was like interested in fitness and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, I need to lose weight. It was because of the holiday. My parents wanted to lose weight because we were going on holiday. I was like, alright, sweet, sound. Eat what I eat and I guarantee you lose weight. And he was really sceptical at first. So as my mum was like, no, you eat a lot of unhealthy things, like you have a lot of eggs, etc. And they were very sceptical at first. But as soon as I got them onto my diet, I think my dad in the end lost about 10 kilos. My mum lost about 5 or 6 kilos. Isn't that insane? And once they lost the weight and they saw the improvements in themselves, they were then a lot more understanding when I would go and make them. You see how it makes sense? They've seen the results for themselves. So when they see me making it, they're like, oh, that's actually a good thing. I'm not going to stop it from making the foods that you want to make because it clearly works. So that's stuff that I use to be able to influence my parents and stop them from belittling me and saying, no, you can't eat certain foods. Now I get some people's parents aren't that understanding. Some people's parents are just fucking mongs and they're not able to be reasoned with and they're not able to be convinced. And my suggestion to that is, why? Do it anyway. You're a person, You know that it's good for you, so what have you got to worry about? Oh, they're gonna shower you. They're gonna shower you anyway. They're gonna shower you when you leave your plate on the side instead of putting it in the dishwasher. They're gonna shower you when you've left shoes at the bottom of the stairs. They're gonna shower you when your room isn't as tidy as it could be. They're gonna shout at you for bullshit anyway. So you might as well actually make the foods that you want to make and eat healthy anyway. So when they say, "Oh, only have 2 eggs," go and grab 4, go and grab 6, and cut them and just say, "Oh, I didn't want 2 eggs. I was hungry, so I had 6." That's all you've got to say. And they're like, "No, I told you no eggs, but they're already cracked. They're already in the pan, so they're not going to take them away from you. They're made now. You're going to eat them, so they're not going to take them away from you." And then just let them shout at you. Honestly, just let them shout at you and be like, "Oh, sorry, I won't do it again." And then do it again. It's that simple. I would never, ever, like, promote lying for no unnecessary benefit. But when people are being stupid and not unable to be reasoned with, like, I didn't have to lie because my parents were reasonable. But when people aren't being reasonable, then you have to take it to the extreme. Then you have to do things that are technically bad and whatever, lying, etc. But this is for you. This is for the benefit of your physique and your diet, your journey. How seriously do you want to take it? Are you going to let your parents with incorrect worldviews dictate your physique, dictate your progress? You know they're incorrect worldviews as well, so why listen to them? So just lie if your parents are stopping from it. And no, when you go into sixth form, you will not be judged. I want to make this clear. The story that I made about being a joke or whatever, this was a friendly joke. I was never judged. I was never bullied. I was never ostracized because I brought in my own food. If anything, it was a conversation starter. Some girl comes to me like, "Oh, what are you eating there?" Like, they come from the canteen. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't really like much of the canteen food, so I just make my own food from home, and it's really healthy, and I feel great on it." And then you start conversations from there. All of a sudden, you're talking to a pretty girl for the first time in your life, a fucking loser. Sorry. Um, And yeah, it's a conversation starter. People don't hate you. People don't dislike you for it. People actually admire it a lot. People are like, "Wow, you actually eating healthy food. That's really respectable." Especially when you get to sixth form and college level, like people are a lot more conscious about their health, etc. It's a big thing that's becoming more popular and popular. So when you do that, you're actually increasing popularity. So don't ever sit there and be like, "Oh, they'll take the piss out of me. They'll bully me." First of all, don't let that stop you from making your goals and achievements anyway. Let them take the piss out of you if they want. If you're gonna get taken the piss out of, let them. You're improving your life. You're having a better diet because of it. Let them take the piss out of you and get fat when they're 40. Let them. And 2, people who will actually admire you for it. It won't happen. You won't get bullied for things like that. And that's it. Have a schedule of, "Oh, I need to make my food at this point the night before. The night before I need to defrost my chicken or whatever." Have a schedule for that. Have a schedule for when you make your food. We talked about habit stacking, so prep your meal prep for dinner at the same time you're making breakfast before college or school or whatever. And then just eat whole foods. It's that simple. If you have a microwave, account that into it. You can maybe heat something up in the microwave. If you don't have a microwave, don't make things that you need to heat up. These things, these simple things that you can ask yourself. And that is the way that I meal prepped to get jacked in college. It's that simple. I just made food while I had breakfast, making sure it was whole foods from my ingredient list, from my meal plan list that I already made prerequisitely. Is that even a word? I don't know. And then I just ate the same whole foods every day. It's hard in the beginning to start the habit, but once you do it for a couple of days, just say, "I'm going to do this for 2 days, 3 days," and eventually the momentum will kick in. Eventually, you'll grab the frosted chicken that you got out on autopilot to put them in the air fryer. Eventually, you put the rice and put it in the steamer without even thinking about it. And then after it's in the steamer for like 15 minutes, you're like, "Oh shit, I just meal prepped without thinking about it." It's these things that once you get into the flow, it becomes so much more easier, and then you'll have a perfect diet. And you won't get absolutely raped by the fucking shit canteen food. Because, oh yeah, they're for my macros, but they're making you fat and unhealthy and having worse sessions in the gym. So they see how this is extremely important. So don't let that crutch it be like, "Oh, I don't know how to meal prep. Oh, I don't know. I just could just get canteen food. It fits my macros anyway." Don't let that be a crutch to stop you from having the best diet of your life because it's easy. You just do it when you're making breakfast and you're fine. It is easy. I did it for 2 years. Easy. After having the worst diet ever, I recovered and had the best diet ever for 2 years. It's easy. You can do it. You can do it. Have the best diet of your life. We teach more things like this in my paid product in the first link in the description. So we obviously talk about the diet. We also talk about the training to get you the best physique that you could possibly ever get as a teenager. Just like I have. I come from a point of being scrawny and skinny, and I've got to the point where I've got a top 1% physique in my age range. I bench 100 kg at 17 years old. I've squatted 160 kg before I was 18. Like, I've done good things. I've done great things and I've built a great physique. And I'm going to let you into the secrets of what made me achieve that and how to achieve it faster. And I'm going to build you the best physique you've always wanted. Because there's so much bullshit fitness advice out there that I don't want you to follow. That's going to lead you down the wrong path. And I'm just proud of myself that I made a product that is true and is going to get you the results that you wanted. Also, on my personal Instagram in the second link in the description. So if you want any specific advice from me, message me on Instagram and I'm sure I'll be able to reply to you on that one as well. I can't wait for you to make insane gains today. Have a good session today and I'll see you in the next one.